Will a win over Canelo put you ahead of Mayweather as the greatest boxer of this generation?
Listen, I leave the opinions to everybody else, but like I said, after this fight, when I defeat Canelo, I'm gonna be on Mount Rushmore. That's where I'm gonna be.
The moment finally arrived. Two eras of boxing collided in one arena, face to face. On one side stood Floyd "Money" Mayweather, the man who defined the last era of boxing, the undefeated king with a flawless 50-0 record. On the other side was Terence "Bud" Crawford, the man who recently shocked the world by defeating Canelo Alvarez and cementing himself as the pound-for-pound #1 fighter of this generation. And now, for the first time ever, they stood eye to eye. No more fantasy debates, no more what-if conversations. Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford, same stage, same cameras, same spotlight. And trust me, this wasn't just another press event. This was history in the making.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
To understand just how insane this face-off was, you have to rewind a bit. Because before 2025, if you asked who would win between Mayweather and Crawford, most people would have laughed. Floyd was untouchable. Floyd was the best ever.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you? Keyshawn beat Tank?
Keyshawn beat everybody. Him and Shakur.
How you feel about them not fighting each other? That's cool?
Yeah, that's cool. They don't need to fight each other.
Was there anybody ever...
They can beat up everybody else.
Was there anybody ever like that in boxing with you? Because not really Sean Porter, right?
No. No.
No friends in this business for you.
I think Tim Bradley would have been like that.
Okay.
I think me and Tim Bradley would have been like that. I wouldn't have fought Tim.
If the opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But you
Floyd, yeah, because I wasn't as close. Me and Floyd close now, but when Floyd was boxing, I wasn't as close with Floyd like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't gonna happen.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
I think you got your answer there.
Nah, I didn't hear nothing. Is Floyd better than you? Some fighters say, even like Gervonta Davis.
Beat your ass?
But then came Canelo versus Crawford. Crawford was the smaller man, moving up in weight and taking on a challenge many said was impossible, and yet he did it. He beat Canelo Alvarez. He didn't just survive, he didn't just scrape by, he dominated.
Terence Crawford had the ability to fight backwards and stay composed, good defense, hands was always up, countering everything that Canelo was throwing at him. He was just a little more active fight. Canelo did hit him to the body, but it was pretty much all Terence Crawford.
I think some of what we saw from Canelo is what he has to resort to now to fight. Maybe he's dealt with some injuries to where he's not as mobile. It's just the pattern that he's put himself in for the last, 6 to 8 fights. That same pattern is why Bivol was able to get him.
He did not allow Canelo to get inside, man. As soon as Canelo would get into that certain range, you would jab him. We didn't see any like lateral moves where he would throw, push off to the side, as we used to see Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo was almost smothering his shot because he couldn't stay at range with him. And Terence Crawford runs off counter combinations. It would be a wider margin if they fought again.
That win changed everything. Overnight, Crawford went from one of the greats to arguably the greatest of this era. Fans, analysts, even other fighters began saying, Bud isn't just chasing legends, he is one.
Thank you, GOAT, because you are the GOAT of this era. Terence "Bud" Crawford.
And here's where things got even crazier. After the fight, Canelo Alvarez, the man who faced both Mayweather and Crawford in their primes, came out and admitted something that shook the entire boxing world. Canelo said Crawford was better.
And lastly for me, champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Let that sink in. Canelo fought a prime Floyd Mayweather back in 2013 and faced Crawford in his prime in 2024. And for him to say Bud was the tougher, better fighter, that's not just praise. That's a legacy-shattering statement.
You ready?
Canelo, choose one, please.
Guys, we had to go. We don't.
Can you elaborate on why Crawford is better than Mayweather? Just a little bit of detail.
Oh, he can switch. He's very smart guy. He's better.
For years, Floyd has called Canelo easy work. He built part of his own mythos on how effortlessly he handled young Canelo. And now Canelo himself is saying Crawford is on another level.
You can take a guy like Canelo, this guy can do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk, easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
That's the kind of thing that eats away at Mayweather, because Floyd's brand his identity as being the best ever. And suddenly, there's a new wave of people, including his old opponents, putting Crawford above him. And you know Mayweather the man has an ego the size of the MGM Grand. The moment Canelo's words hit the headlines, Floyd started acting different. He began giving interviews hinting at something big. Not another exhibition. Not some easy money grab in Japan. A real comeback. For the first time in years, Floyd Mayweather said he's open to a professional fight. And who's the name on his radar? You already know, Terence Crawford. This isn't just about money. This is about legacy. This is about pride. This is Floyd trying to remind the world, I'm still the greatest. I'm still the guy nobody can beat.
You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
All right, but here's the twist. Before Floyd can even think about Crawford, he's got another fight lined up. Next April, Floyd is scheduled for an exhibition against none other than Mike Tyson.
A fight that fans will watch for sure is you and Mike Tyson. How's training going, Floyd? Talk to me all about this as you get ready to get back in that boxing ring once again.
Well, not really training right now.
Not yet.
You know, the fight is in 2026. We still, ironing out everything, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be exciting for the people and the fans.
Are you going in there to put Mike down and like, hey, this is not, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna throw a few punches, like I'm taking this seriously and I'm trying to Mike Tyson?
I don't know. I just want to get the fans what they want to see, excitement. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be an exciting event.
Now, let's be real. That's already one of the wildest matchups the sport has ever seen. Floyd, the defensive genius, versus Tyson, one of the most feared punchers in history. It's not about titles or rankings. It's about spectacle, entertainment, and pure bad blood. And trust me, there's plenty of bad blood. Tyson has never been shy about saying he doesn't respect Mayweather. He's called him arrogant, laughed at his style, and made it clear that if they ever share the ring, he's going for the kill. For Floyd, beating Tyson in that exhibition is about momentum. If he gets through Tyson looking sharp, it fuels the Crawford narrative. But if Tyson lands that one punch and embarrasses Floyd, that's it. The Crawford fight dies instantly. Nobody wants to see a 50-year-old Floyd, fresh off a loss to an even older Tyson, step in with Bud.
One of the greatest of all time, Evander Holyfield. Mike Tyson announced he's fighting Floyd Mayweather in 2026. What do you think of that fight overall?
Well, kind of different, the size-wise. By Tyson heavyweight, and I think weatherweight.
Right.
So it's.
Is it a real fight? Do you think? Do you think fans should take it serious? Is it a real fight, Mayweather Tyson?
I couldn't think it was real. It goes back to the matter, he's a lot bigger than the guy, so it's weight makes a difference.
So, in a weird way, Tyson is the gatekeeper. Floyd has to prove he still belongs in the ring before he can face Crawford. Now, let's break this down. Why is Mayweather still even in this conversation? Simple. Floyd is Floyd. 50 wins, 0 losses. The best defensive fighter in history. A man who made world-class opponents look ordinary. He didn't need knockout power. He didn't need size. He had ring IQ, timing, and the ability to make you miss by inches and pay the price.
Speaking of boxing, do you think Floyd's the GOAT?
Oh, undeniably. I don't even think it's close. Yeah,
Okay.
As far as like an actual fighter for fight, like fight for fight, pound for pound, Floyd, how can he not be the greatest? Like, as far as like, he's never lost. He's the greatest defensive fighter without a
Not
doubt.
even close.
I don't even think it's a debate.
It's not a debate.
Floyd's been hit hard maybe 4 times in his career.
It's not a debate.
He's touched the floor 1 time, bro.
It's not a debate.
How do you fight 50 times and touch the floor once?
Even Terence Crawford himself has admitted that Floyd's defense is unmatched. And you can tell, when Bud talks about Floyd, there's respect and admiration.
But what makes Floyd the best, so unique, something that we have not seen before?
His defense and his instincts. I think Floyd had the best defense in boxing history.
Better than Sweet Pea?
Yeah, definitely.
Because Sweet Pea has some defense.
But
Sweet Pea had defense, but he ain't that offense like Floyd.
I look at, I say he got more defense than Sweet Pea because he got hit less.
Yes.
You know, Sweet Pea had more head movement, so Sweet Pea was better at slipping punches, making you miss.
Right.
But Floyd on defense, like catch, bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
You know, Floyd hands down. Then making you pay, catching counter, catching, slipping. You know what I mean? Like hitting you with shots that you don't see. Like that's where Floyd mastered. You know, hit and not get hit.
Floyd is someone Crawford studied, someone he modeled parts of his own game after. But here's the thing. Crawford isn't just another Floyd clone. He has his own greatness.
Looking back at like Floyd's career, like him coming up in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight, and that's what led him to be so great. You know, because he fought the most champions, beat the most champions. You know, got the most money for beating the most champions. So it's just like, man, he had this guy, back to back to fight, one after one.
Bud is versatile, switch hitting, counterpunching, aggressive when he needs to be, calculated when he has to be, and most importantly, he's a finisher. If he hurts you, he doesn't let you off the hook.
He said afterwards, you are better than Floyd Mayweather, and I know you don't like those comparisons. I know you don't like when people pitch you two together, but when you heard that, what did you think? How did that feel to hear that from someone like him?
I just was like, well, you know, it's his personal opinion. He was in the ring with both of us. So a lot of people, you know, they can say what they want, but he's actually been in the ring with both of us. You know, one where he felt like he was at the best, you know, and another where he felt like he was at a disadvantage when he had a rehydration clause and he was younger. So, you know, I don't know, you know, I don't go off of that. You know, Floyd is the best fighter, you know, in his era, and I feel like I'm the best fighter in my era.
Beating Canelo proves something massive. Crawford's greatness isn't limited by weight classes. He dared to be great, faced a much bigger man, and came out on top. That's the kind of risk Floyd never really took in his career. Floyd was smart. He picked the right fights at the right times. Crawford went straight into the fire and came out unscathed.
It's wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time.
Oh, yes.
That makes a difference to people.
When these two stood face to face for the first time under the Don cameras, you could feel the tension. For Crawford, it was surreal. He grew up watching Floyd, studying him, idolizing him. And now that same man was standing across from him as a rival. For Floyd, it was personal. This wasn't just another exhibition against some influencer or retired MMA fighter. This was about proving to the world and to himself that even after all these years, he's still the alpha.
I was excited to see Bud perform the way he performed against Canelo. I think boxing needed that fight. I think Bud showed up in the way he was supposed to. I think Canelo did as well, and the respect between the two men is what boxing is supposed to be. I can't talk about all the eras of boxing because I haven't seen them all, you know, but I've seen Hagler Hearns. I've seen Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler. Like I've seen all of those things, and those fights were wars. Floyd Mayweather is the best boxer I've ever seen. He's the most skilled boxer I've ever seen. Bud, and this is just my opinion, is the baddest man I've seen wear boxing gloves. And here's why I say that.
RC.
Here's why I say that. Bud is extremely skilled, right? Yet not as skilled as Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather made people look foolish, right? And so if I had to say who's the greatest I've seen, and Bud said it right, the best of an era and the best of an era, it's Floyd. But when I watched Bud against Canelo, there was this extreme skill on display, and there was a level of crazy that's different. There was a level of, and Floyd's extremely tough. Go back to Shane Mosley and the 2 punches he landed early in the fight and the way that he embarrassed him. I'm not saying that Floyd's not tough, Floyd's not a bad man, but there was domination inside that ring we saw this weekend. And there's no fear in him in the way that he's attacked, gaining notoriety. Bud's been the baddest man for 12 years. But no one gave him credit because he didn't go tell you he was the baddest man. He didn't market that. He just went out and fought and beat people and knocked people out. So he had to move up and take the bigger fights and the better fights. And he was Errol Spence. We realized just how great he was. Canelo cemented him on what is the two-headed monster that marks the greatest of the 2000s. Floyd Mayweather is on that. And Bud Crawford is right next to him. I don't think we have to pick on who's better. I think they both dominated their eras equally.
Hold up, limitless, they can send me cap in it. I father here to witness it.
The stare down didn't last long, but the message was clear. Crawford looked calm and confident. Floyd, he was smirking, but you could see it in his eyes. This fight, if it happens, means everything to him. But let's be honest, this fight isn't equal for both men. For Mayweather, he has nothing to lose. He's nearly 50 if he beats Crawford. He becomes immortal, the man who was undefeated in his prime and came back decades later to defeat the pound-for-pound king. If he loses, so what? He was old, past his prime, and people will shrug it off.